Okay, now we're ready to thread our sewing machine. So the first thing we need to do is to make sure we have with us a pair of scissors and perhaps a piece of white fabric or white paper that could be useful for threading the needle. Firstly, with our reel of thread, we pop it over the spool pin, either one is fine, and bring it down to the top of the machine just behind the little hook at the top. Pull it through, and then what will happen is you'll be able to slide the thread through this thread guide and bring it to the front. So basically the first part of this is just to bring the thread from the back of the machine through to the front. Then what we need to do is take it down the front of the machine, slip it underneath this little thread guide and pull it up. You need to have your take-up lever poking out a little bit so you can see it. So what we now do is we bring the thread up to the top of the take-up lever and pull it down through so it's hooked through that lever as well. At the bottom of this machine, at the top of the needle, there's a little hook, and what we need to do is make sure that we put the thread behind the hook. Now what you can now see is that on the front of my machine I have the thread in an N shape. If you have the thread in an N shape, you know that you have threaded the machine correctly. If you don't have it in an N shape, if it's crossed over, you'll find when you try to sew, it will probably pull and break the thread and you'll have to start again. The last job we need to do to thread the top of the machine is to thread the needle. So that's where the first thing to do is to just snip the end and make sure that you have a nice straight end that should go through the needle quite easily. And we need to thread the needle from the front through to the back and just grab the thread behind and pull it through. I then like to put my finger just behind the thread and guide it down so it doesn't get twisted around the needle. And there you have a threaded machine. If you find it difficult to thread the needle and you can't see very well, then this is where the white paper or fabric comes in handy. You can just pop it behind, and that just makes the hole in the needle stand out a little bit so that you can see it better. So that could be a useful trick if you're having difficulty in threading the needle. So now we have a threaded machine ready to start sewing.